Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Jenny from the Chopping Block. And today I have my new friend, Carl Peter, and I just want to introduce you guys to him. Introduce him to you guys and him to whatever. Because I just think what he's doing is really remarkable. And I just learned a few minutes ago that, he's just started this Facebook community, and it's grown into such great success. So I want to highlight him and talk about what he's up to in the world and how he's shining his unique light on all of us. I actually met Carl in the Comeback Challenge with Tony Robbins, and it was just crazy because you weren't really on Facebook. You've never been to a Tony event. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that came into your vortex and how, you followed your intuition to join the group?
Sure. Hello, everyone. I am Carl Peter, and I was usually active on Instagram for the longest time. I've been doing videos for about 3 years. I've been writing a book for about five. That's set to publish. My goal is to publish the first of three books by the end of this year. And I saw this. I've always been a follower of Tony Robbins. He was my original mentor when I was climbing out of a really dark cloud that I was in for about 10 straight years. 5 years ago, I picked up his book, Unlimited Power. And that just was the beginning of my transformational spiritual journey. Then I followed him into Awaken the Giant Within, did all the exercises, and I started to find myself through writing. And I found that writing was a healing. It was my way of expressing myself. And that little writing there turned into a story. And that story turned into a book that I've been writing for 5 years. And I've been following him for a long time. And I saw his ad probably on Instagram or on Facebook. I can't remember, but I know I haven't been active on Facebook for the longest time before this summer. And I was just like, why not? And I joined the group, and it was really amazing.
And here we are.
Yeah.
And that's amazing because, to me, I admire you, and I see what you're doing, and I see the impact that you're making on so many people's lives. And it just amazes me that you just started being active on Facebook like a couple of months ago, because
Right.
what you've done is just, I think it's something to note, because it's not normal, it's like remarkable. And I think you have like over 1,000 people in your group, and everybody's interactive, and it's just a beautiful space. And the group is called, Finding Your Passion Through Self-Discovery.
Yes.
And, you inspire and show like that consistency in your action. When you're surrounded by like-minded people, it could help you grow. And you go over like multiple areas in your life. So can you tell us a little bit more about what inspired this movement that you've created?
It's been something that's been in my heart for the longest time, ever since I started doing these videos. I was, at first I wasn't sure. I was being tested. I've been tested my whole life. But long story short, when I was in this, while I was writing my book, and I started to understand who I was better, and I was following my intuition, I had a feeling that people wanted to hear my voice too. So I went ahead. I did this brand called Extreme Motivation. X as in the letter X, and stream as in the stream of water, motivation. And I created it into a YouTube channel, and I just started putting videos out all the time on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook. I wasn't really getting much, much attention, much engagement at all. Probably 5 likes here, 7 likes there. Family photos, though, I probably get like 20, 25 likes on Facebook. And then on Instagram also, I was getting some engagement, but I wasn't getting the right people. I wasn't connecting with the right people. And when I entered the Comeback Challenge, I instantly felt there was magic in there. I instantly felt it. I started connecting with people before I went on my first ever live video, because I've done videos, but I never went live before the Tony Robbins Challenge. And then on day one, when he said for us to go live, I was just thinking, I got to do this. It's now or never. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm passionate about. And so I thought of Shia LaBeouf's little trailer when he's like, "What are you waiting for? Let's do it." And I just was like, it's now or never. I went ahead, I did it. And it came out, honestly, Jennifer, was like one of my best videos ever when I went live. And it was a lot of fun. I was engaging with the people at the same time. And I just kept going from there. I connected with people. I felt there was something special. And I created this group. At first, it wasn't. At first, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like, hey, let's connect, let's have some fun, let's keep the energy going. But then my intuition told me something else. And during this hard time that we're all going through, as tragic as COVID-19 has been, I believe that there's a bright light at the end of the tunnel, and there's a lot of good things happening at the same time. Opportunities are opening up. More people are working from home. More people spending quality time with their family. And it's just an incredible amount of opportunity that's going on. But for us to make this happen, a lot of people don't understand, living in a lot of fear and have a lot of limiting beliefs. And that's something that I was walking alongside for the longest time, for about 10 years. And the ego was was basically taking over me, and I was not myself. I was hanging out with the wrong people. I was getting myself in a lot of trouble. And I could tell you that the ego had taken over my personality. All the decisions I was making, all the choices I was making were all the wrong choices. And I had to somehow find myself out of there by myself, because I knew that there was no way anyone was going to pull me out of that dark cloud, no matter what happened. It was going to be up to me. And I came to a point where I had a little bit of consciousness. I could say that, I was so unconscious with everything I was doing, but there was a time where something happened and I was about to die. And I almost died on multiple occasions during this 10 years in this darkness. And I made a choice to step out. It's incredible what one choice can do and lead to a decade of bad decisions. And then what one choice can do to get you out of that one other choice. And that's when I began my transformational journey, overcoming my fear, overcoming my limiting beliefs. And that's the kind of the message that I wanted to bring out. And I'm all about unity and support. I wanted to have a community where we would all support each other, where we could all unite and maybe make some magic happen during this pandemic. Mm-hmm. And then I started this gratitude challenge. And then I changed the name of the group from Unlimited Power, for Tony Robbins. I changed it to Finding Your Passion Through Self-Discovery. And because that's really how you find your passion. I mean, if you don't know what your passion is yet, that's okay. Nobody knows what their passion is. I changed my major about 5 times when I was in college. I thought that I grew up as a kid. I wanted to be an actor for the longest time. I was doing home films. And, then I realized that wasn't the path for me. If I was, attending college, my parents wanted me to do something else. So I focused on some journey. Maybe it was going to be a journalist. That didn't work out. This arts and communication also didn't work out. And then I found that I was good in calculus. So I did calculus and I went on to get my electrical engineering degree. It wasn't something I was absolutely passionate about, but
you're good at it.
I was good at it, and I was just, that degree meant something to me. I wanted to get it, but at the same time, I made sure I stayed focused on what I was passionate about, and that was writing, and that was also motivational speaking, and trying to do what I can when I can. So that all led me, Jennifer, to my graduation. Now, when I graduated, I went on to work with one of the biggest aerospace companies in the world, known as Parker. I was captain on the field in a department of over 500 people, and I led us to be in the highest producing team there. I'd wake up 4:30, I'd get us going, I'd get my priming in and everything, and I would take no days off. But the moment COVID-19 hit, I was the first one to get laid off. Didn't matter if I had an electrical engineering degree. Didn't matter if I was the hardest worker in the room. And at first, it hit me hard. It hit me hard, but I didn't ask myself the wrong questions. I asked myself the right questions. I was like, I showed up. I did my work. I know it wasn't me. It's maybe the universe is telling me something. It's trying to guide me somewhere better. Now, at the time, I wasn't sure what I was doing with my book. My book was finished, but I wasn't doing anything about it. I wasn't editing it. I wasn't doing this. I was just writing here and there of my journey of what was going on during that time. And so I thought maybe this meant something. You know, what does this mean to me? What can I do better? How can I turn this L into a sweeter W? And after 2 weeks, I started applying to hundreds and hundreds of jobs. I found all these websites, and I found a copywriting job off the site Upwork, and I started doing some engineering projects as well, some MEP as they call it. And I was doing that part-time, you know, about 5-7 hours a day. And then the comeback challenge came in, and I was also focused on learning some of the online business. You know, I was keeping my everything open.
Yeah.
I always want to explore. You know, I wanted to explore some things, so that's what I've been doing. And then I skipped all the way back to this group, and I named it "Finding Your Passion Through Self-Discovery." If I hadn't followed my passion, then I wouldn't be where I am today, because I would have just followed what people thought I should do, which is focus on my degree, that they want me to have a secure future, that a degree is going to guarantee security. But based on my story and based on the stories of many others, that a lot of people, they're afraid to say, because they want to believe that, you know, that it is education over experience. It's not. You're not going to find your passion through education. You're going to find your passion through experience. You got to explore. You got to be yourself, and always your intuition is going to tell you otherwise. And that's the voice you want to listen to. And that's how I found myself through self-discovery, named the group, and now we do, like, you know, meditation activities, and we do like a bunch of interviews like this, and it's been awesome. We just did the gratitude challenge also, and that was, you know, that was amazing in itself, just to see everybody joining in, and having some people just express what they're grateful for every single day.
Such a beautiful experience. So I just wanted to share with you, I'm doing a 22-day challenge in one of my groups, and I literally wrote the quote because it's part of it's like a money challenge, and it says, formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. And that's Jim Rohn.
Wow, Jim Rohn, yes.
Like, reminded me of what you were saying. I also I want to take a few steps back, because I'm still not over the fact that, you know, you go live, because that's like a hard thing to do. Like, were you nervous? Like, because I remember I went live like a year in a private group before I started going live on my personal page, and like, right. What was going through your mind? Were you just excited to like get out there and share your message, or were you nervous? Like, I know you I always see you're very active, and you're probably in a peak state when you're talking, which people resonate with. But what do you think brought you so much success, like in live video and your message, and were you nervous?
Jennifer, I've never had a mentor. I've never had well, besides reading books has been my only mentor. I've never had any coaches. I've never been to any seminars. I've just been through I've been through a lot of stuff in my life, and I bring all of that. I turned all that pain into gains, because, you know, the saying, no pain, no gain. There's not going to, on the other side of pain, there's the greatest results are waiting. And that's where your self is waiting. That's where your best self is waiting, not just yourself, but where you actually tap into that power that's inside of you, and you're ready to show it to the world. That's when you don't care what people think. You just express yourself, you speak your truth, and you're willing to be the lone wolf as long as you believe in yourself. And that was me for years. When I was not following my passion, and I was lost. You know, everybody loved me. You know, everybody loved me, and I was not sure who I was. I was just going with the flow, and I was in this really dark place and confused. Also, a lot of stuff going through my head, a lot of bad decisions. But everybody around me thought it was okay. And then when I stepped out of that, and even while outside my degree, and I started following my passions, I was tossed outside the pack. Now, some people will think that you are. They'll wish you good. They'll be like, you know, we wish you good, man. But we're gonna, you know, just focus on your thing. We'll focus on ours. Or, you know, the family. oh, Family Jennifer will be the first people to tell you on your passion, on your journey to your passion, if it's something out of the ordinary, like not a degree kind of based
Put
thing.
more fear into it.
That, yeah, that you shouldn't do it because it's based on security, right? I was straight up tossed outside the pack. They didn't want me to make it. I was left alone. I was the lone wolf. It didn't matter how much I gave to them, how much I helped them with their homework. So I wasn't the smartest student. I was always there to help them out. You know, I got my stuff done. But that didn't matter at the end of the day. Doesn't matter how nice you are, how giving you are to the world. There's always going to be people who judge you, and there's always going to be haters. But those same people and those same challenges, they make you stronger. And out of that, I grew. I grew out of all of that, and I just started and every day I started doing these videos. I started doing my writing, and people say they're gonna wait till the day comes. They're gonna wait till the group happens, till the group opens, and they have an opportunity to show themselves. But how are you gonna show your best self if you weren't prepared? You know, it's not like if you're gonna hop on for the first time. That was Tony Robbins challenge. I'm looking at it. Over 380,000 people in the group. And I'm like, you know, I have to do this. First of all, because it was my original mentor, Tony. And second, because it's Tony Robbins, you know, in his community. And I felt something really special during this challenge from the first day. So what I did was I was at the gym and I got on a cardio machine. And I was making sure I was walking and doing this, and I have role models, and it's very important to have role models, you know, like that you look up to, that inspire you, and that kind of make you into who you are, into your best self, with the habits that you develop and the discipline, of course. That's how I started developing myself. And one of my role models did his lives on a cardio machine. So, and I saw the energy that he would bring. So who you asked who?
Mm-hmm.
He's actually the CEO of Blackstone Labs, where he does he has like many bodybuilding awards and stuff, and I sponsor for them also on Instagram. His name is PJ Braun. He's huge. He's a really cool guy too, and he does his lives on Instagram all the time. He's like on the cardio machine. So I decided to do the same thing, bring the same energy. And that's just what happened. You know, I was just like, this has got to be it. I just followed my intuition. I could have said no, and then I wouldn't have done it, and nothing would have happened. But everything that happens in your life happens for a reason. And everything that you're doing now, even if you don't know it yet, is preparing you for where you want to be. All that prepared me for that live, and I was just ready to be myself.
So I wanted to ask you, because I know you did a post about it, and you're talking a lot about, the dark night of the soul, and how we all go through, a rough patch. And I wanted to ask you more about the fringe awakening and what that means to you, and that verbiage, and how that's impacted your life.
Fringe awakening is to term Robert Greene. Robert Greene, in his book, that I believe it was The Laws of Human Nature, which is my favorite book of all time, he talks of something called fringe awakening. And fringe awakening is basically when, before you sleep, or when you first wake up, but most of the time it will happen either in the middle of your sleep if you're a little bit awake, or right before you sleep. You'll have this thought pass by you, and that thought could be an answer to a question that you've been wanting for the longest time. It could be the most important thought ever, and then you're like, I'll get back to it later. If you think that, it's not going to come for a long time. It fades away for a while. That fringe awakening, you really want to be aware of it, because that thought could mean something really important. You want to have a notepad or something to write it down. A classic example is Napoleon Hill. Mm-hmm. He was when he came out with the book Think and Grow Rich, he was thinking of a name for the book for years. At first I thought it was months. No, it was actually for years when I did my research. And he had a fringe awakening in the middle of his sleep. A thought passed by him, and it was Think and Grow Rich. So he called his publisher right away. He gave him the name, and that was how he came out with the name. It was through Fringe Awakening.
So cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that. Thanks for sharing. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was just in the Platt Summit, and we were talking about, Allison. She's one of the co-leaders, and she was talking about how like the last 5 minutes of before you go to sleep is like what your subconscious is working on.
Yes.
So she was suggesting that we have a question like in that last 5 minutes to ask. And I think that ties into what you're saying. Like you might get that insight through your subconscious mind and through this awakening. Beautiful. I just want to highlight some of my family here. We got Leva, hey, and Raph, I love you. What's up?
Hello, everyone. Hello.
So I want to ask. So how long have you had the group? 2 months?
I've had the group just like about 9 weeks. Yes, about 9 weeks, and we've just reached about 1,400 people in the group.
And it's super like there's so much action going on in there, and like. So did you start with like the push-up challenge? Because I know you're super passionate with fitness.
Well, the push-up challenge wasn't. The push-up challenge was something that I brought into the group after I was nominated, which I was very grateful for because a lot of I started motivating some people just to start working out. People started telling me that that they're going to make this their year one day when I nominated them for the push-up challenge, that they're going to get in the best shape of their life. And I saw people like going from knee push-ups to regular push-ups.
Me.
So, it was such an amazing experience and very inspiring. And I was very grateful to be a part of it. I connected with a lot of people too. And then I started the gratitude challenge after that in the group. And now yesterday was the finale. Now I'm starting another challenge. I'm calling it the next level.
Cool. And what's that going to be about?
Well, I haven't told anyone yet, but you will see. There's
All
right, so I'll give you a sneak peek. I'm working on a trailer for it that you'll see on my page this weekend. I wanna basically, everybody has been focusing on what they're grateful for 30 days, and 30 days is a perfect enough time to make the most of what you have. Because when you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, the world around you starts to unfold. You start to understand yourself better, and you start to become more aware, more alert, and more conscious of your surroundings. You truly do. You become more present and more positive, and the energy that you give out to the world is very real. And just giving a little bit of positive energy comes back to you, and it starts spreading out. And the more positive energy you spread, the more peace there is in the world. And so energy is very real. I've always been big on energy and gratitude. And stepping out of the gratitude challenge, now that so many people have become, after watching their stories and their videos, more ready for the next level, I feel like. And we're a lot of people in the group too, trying to find their passion. They're trying to start a new group, like a business online or something. And I want to be the one. Like I want to make sure that we are all on this path together. I'm someone that ever since I started these videos 2 or 3 years ago, I've always wanted to share my story with others in a way that they can benefit from my journey. So I've always shared my journey with others, and this is just another part of the journey. Now I've been waking up at 5, and then I went from waking up from 5 to 4. I went from waking up from 4 to 3:30 now. And now I wake up at 3:30. I get in my morning rituals, which is my meditation, reading, writing, about an hour of work, and my workouts in with my breakfast, all by 8:30 a.m. And then I'm ready for the day. And I got, of course, I got work during the day and stuff. I got everything laid out. I got a clear mind, and I'm ready to conquer the day. But the most important part of the mornings is the sunrise. The sunrise brings peace to the soul, and there's something truly special about waking up before the sunrise, because you start to visualize your outcome. You start to have better incantations. You just start to understand yourself better. There's a lot of amazing things that can happen, and I see why I see why in the movies like Rocky, they wake up before the sunrise and they work out in the dark. There's something special about it. And that's but that's kind of the challenge that I want to do. Not for people necessarily. I know not everybody can work out, but for those that, you know, it's called Beat the Sunrise.
I'm doing it. Sign me up. Where's
Yes.
the line?
Yes. I'm going to beat the sunrise with ohms, and just so you can beat the sunrise, and you know, you start waking up earlier, and that's my challenge for everybody, to start waking up earlier and beat the sunrise, and just see the difference in the quality of their life.
We did that in one of my masterminds, and it was just there's peace in the air. Like there's something. We had a good run too.
Yeah.
Just the quietness, like, and just being awake before everyone. Like, it's just like it's so peaceful, you know. So I had a question come up for you while you were talking, because you know I went live for, I would say, like a year, and a lot of times I didn't feel the pressure to like have a message, because I was just coming out. Like sometimes I would just come on and say, look, I'm just, you know, I was kind of getting used to being on camera. It was like I would share everything I was learning, or like what I was reading, or something that was happening. You know, I went through a challenging time, so I would share some of that, some of my pain. But my question to you is like, you know, you're constantly putting out content, and it's quality content. Like, where do you get your inspiration? Do you just talk do you just talk, you know, on the whim, or is it like planned, or like how, like what inspires you?
Thank you, by the way. Thank you. And I used to script them for when I first started. I used to script my videos. I used to prepare my writing posts. But because that's how it starts, you know, you have to start somewhere. And after a year in, about a year and a half ago, I started feeling more in tune with everything. And I just started coming up with everything on the spot. And then when I started believing that I could do it on the spot more and more and more, it started happening. And anytime I feel like I have something scripted and I'm not ready to do it, I actually go live. I go live in the group now, and I express myself, and I give them I start telling them how I feel. And then and I just start speaking my mind, you know, I start speaking my mind, and then I come up with the topic. And for example, 2 weeks ago, I did this video on my page. It's called Stay Focused. And when I was going into that video, I was thinking of talking about how to make your own story, how to write a new story, you know, leave the old story and start a new story, and follow your intuition and stuff. And it just wasn't coming out right, you know. I was jogging, I was doing my thing, you know, and I do my videos, and it just wasn't coming out right. I kept redoing it and redoing it. Then I realized I was overthinking. So when I realized I was overthinking, I said, listen, I have an outcome. It doesn't matter how I get there. It just matters that I get there. I turned on the camera, and I just started running, and I started speaking my mind. And the video came out to be exactly about exactly what I just told you, without me even knowing it. The meaning of the video was about you achieving your outcome without worrying about the journey. Just going the journey.
This is a huge one. I feel like, you know, I'm in a group right now, and it's like, it's such a struggle, like for all of us to have that trust, you know, and focus on the why, not the how. And I think it's such it's like a universal consciousness. Like we're all, you know, it's something I think everyone struggles with, that I see, you know, in my circles. Like how could, you know, it's like, damn, I don't know how that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I know why it is, kind of thing. Right. Like, do you have any advice on maybe somebody who feels like they, like, how not to focus on the how? If that makes any sense.
The how is very simple. Listen, people, we as humans, we absolutely love to complicate things. And we complicate how to turn on the camera and go live. We complicate how to you know, to take that first step towards our goal, because of fear. We complicate a lot of things. And the truth is simple. Now, if you ask me what's my answer to the how, I would say the how is just turn on your camera and start talking. And then even if you fail the first time, okay, so what? You're not going to be perfect the first time. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, as long as you achieved your outcome, that's all that matters. That's it. I'm always focused on the outcome. That's like the number one step to success, and I believe I learned this from a series of books, is step one, know your outcome. And then you use that focus to take action. Notice what you are getting from your actions, and role modeling. Role modeling super important too. That changed my life.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking about that in my late women's group today. It's like find somebody who has done what you want to do and do it, model them. You know?
Yeah, that is so true. That's so true, Jennifer.
I don't know if you remember when Siri Lindley came on. Was she on the Comeback Challenge? She's a triathlete.
Not sure. Oh yeah, she was. Yes.
Yeah, she talks about how she like moved across the world and like ate what, you know, her mentor ate. Like everything that that person did, she modeled it.
Yeah.
And she became a world champion. So.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her story is super inspiring. So I wanted to ask you, like, so you have like these passions, you have like, and it's really cool how now you're kind of like fulfilling some of your dreams, like with you know, being on camera and being an influencer, and you know, you're incorporating your passion for bodybuilding. I do want to hear more about that experience and maybe like what your greatest lesson was in that space.
In bodybuilding, you mean?
Yeah, you're a bodybuilder, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I did compete for a little bit, and I won an award like 3 years ago. I had a journey with bodybuilding. It started when I was about 13 years old. Um, I was a chubby kid back in middle school in Minnesota, and
Minnesota, nice.
yes, have you ever been?
No.
Oh, if you go, there's my favorite part of Minnesota is the Mall of America. They have like they have the theme park inside the mall. It's really cool, and I'm a huge fan of theme parks. So in middle school, I was a popular kid, but I was a chubby kid at the same time. So even though I was hanging out with the popular kids and the clique, and the girls and everything, there came a time when we were in computer class, and this girl, I'll never forget her name because this like changed my life. It changed my life. Her name was Stephanie, and she took my phone, she put it inside her bra, and she kept it there for the entire period of computer class. And all the students in class, they were like, Carl and Stephanie sitting in a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N-G. And I was like so embarrassed, I was like, oh my God, this is really happening. And then after class, she gave me my phone and she said, listen, Carl, you're a really cool guy, but let's face it, you're fat. And now it's not that she yelled at me and said it in a mean way. It's just that freaking changed my entire, it struck a chord in my body so strong that I had to do something about it. And so I started working out, and I changed my entire diet, and that led me into taking steroids for a while too. I got really into it when I was in my late teen years, and that was And then I started competing here and there, and then I started realizing that listen, a lot of people they want to chase something that they see. If you're focused on social media, bodybuilders, for example, like on Instagram, you'll see a lot of people on Instagram is huge for fitness people. Have you noticed that?
Honestly, I follow like really select things. Like when I first got into personal development, I literally just put like my interest, like I see my interest now, like it's spiritual, it's food, it's, I don't see a lot of fitness stuff, honestly.
Yeah, so on Instagram, it is really big for fitness people, and most of them, they have that blue tick. And you'll go there, you'll see it. They have hundreds of thousands of followers, and they want to be like them. They got, this body, and they're ripped, and they got, they're huge. But what they don't know is what's hiding behind the filters that they're using. Yeah. Now, most of them don't have that nice body. They make it look nicer than it really is. I've been there, I have been there, and I'll tell you, it is not real. They use filters. They give you this image that you have to take steroids to be famous. You have to take steroids to get all the ladies. You have to take steroids to feel good about yourself, to make more money, to get attention. And it's just not it's not reality. What does matter, What got them there was them just being themselves, and they carved the path for themselves. Everyone is unique in their own way, and it took me the longest time for me to realize that, for me to stop chasing something that was just a fantasy. It wasn't something that was for me, at least, because we're all born equal with the same potential to achieve our dreams and desires. The only thing that separates us is the purpose why we're here, right? And I started discovering that in my bodybuilding years also, and I started going more natural. And after I won an award being mostly natural when I won my bodybuilding.
Oh, wow, that's a great honor. I love that.
So thank you. And I just but I didn't want to keep competing. I didn't want to keep competing. I just kept it for fun. I train people. They inquire me sometimes. They give me inquiries, and just for fun. But that's not something I focus on full time anymore. When I do it, I try to motivate others as much as I can. That's like most of what's behind my bodybuilding now.
Yeah, and it's a great lesson, like for like social media in general, just to have like it's not always sunshine and rainbows. Like, like people portray, like sometimes people think I have it all together. Like there's a lot of shit in my life that's not good, or considered like, I'm happy, but there's challenges that I don't put everything out there like that. And, when you were talking about like the body image too, it's like sending the wrong message, I think, to like firstly to the youth.
Yes.
And then even like some Instagram models too. Like I just remember hearing a couple people talk on like Gary Vee's show, and just how like, I don't know, I think it's sending the wrong message. Like the people I look up to, like I was talking to a friend yesterday about like Elena Cardone, say. I think she's a goddess, like, and she's so cool. Like, it's not she's gorgeous and she's fit and she, but she like owns who she is, and she shows like she could be really silly and weird. And it's like, that's what we should be striving for.
Yes.
Like just to be yourself, like, yeah,
like speak your truth. A lot of people, they're afraid to speak their truth because they're afraid of judgment. And of course, you're gonna be judged, but those people that judge you are not your people. But as soon as you're speaking your truth and you're being true to who you are without caring what other people think, that you're gonna start attracting the right people to your life.
Yeah.
That's the energy is very real.
Can I ask you a question? Because like I don't think I've gotten big enough to have like trolls or haters. Maybe like a few, but like I haven't experienced that. And like honestly, I know, like I try to focus on the people that I know are my people, and I know that rejection is protection and all that. But like, have you ever got like something on the internet where you felt like, wow, that was like really like a low blow and it hurt you? Like, how did you deal with that? Being like, so putting yourself out there so much, because, like sometimes we focus on that one negative comment, or, opposed to like the 50 beautiful comments.
When I first came out of the comeback challenge and I started doing my videos on Facebook, about 2 months ago, one of the first videos I did was called The Lone Wolf. I was kind of introducing people to who I was, how I was tossed outside the pack in college, but that was because I was following my intuition, and how following my intuition made me strong enough to have the ability to come back after such a big layoff from a big aerospace company and do what I'm doing today with my engineering projects, my sales copy, my online store, and everything I'm doing on Facebook. And the first comment I got, Jennifer, the very first comment I got was from someone I can't even remember. It was like I was waiting and waiting. I was like wondering what. At first, I was like, this is me. I've done these videos for a long time, and I'm always going to speak my truth. I'm going to express who I am and my story, and let people know that, yes, there are people like that out there, that, yes, this is going to happen when you follow your intuition. Because when you follow your intuition, guys, it's so unique that the people around you, they're not going to understand what you're trying to express. Mm-hmm. And the reason they don't understand is not because they can't make it. Anybody can make it. Everybody's potential is the same. We're all born equal. but they are fit. They're not on that level yet. They haven't tapped into that yet, and they're probably fearful of tapping into it. So when they see you doing that before them, they build some jealousy. They create some envy, and they don't like to see that happen to the people around them before it happens to them. Mm-hmm. So of course they're going to try to hold you back. Of course they're going to judge you. Of course they're going to tell you don't do it.
You know, I just come to think of it, when I first put my videos out, that's when I got the most hate.
Yes,
it was my friends though. They're like, "What are you doing?" They're like, "Don't do that ever again." And I was like,
"Wow, that's what happened with me." You know, like my closest friends were like, "What are you doing? This is not not who you are."
I'm doing what I want, okay?
Yeah. And when I put this video out, Jennifer, the first comment I got was from someone I don't know at all who she was. And you know, I was calling the lone wolf. She laughed. She said, you are you know, you're so mean." Or she said something like, I don't remember what she said. She said something so ridiculous. I just had to laugh. She said like, "You're too solo minded," or something like that. You know, this is something about me being by myself and stuff like that. You know, I can't really remember the comment, but the moment I saw it, I could have deleted it. I could have deleted. That was the first comment.
You know what? I have done that, but you're not supposed to, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want, you can. But I believed in my video so much and myself so much that I knew that this was, even though I was waiting forever for things to come in, that this is, I want to prove to myself before I prove to the people that there's always going to be people like that, no matter where you go, but you can't let them bring you down. So what I did was I blocked her because she's not my people, you know, and then I just kept her comment there. And under that comment, there was hundreds of comments. I'm not talking 50, 70, hundreds of comments, over 200 likes on the video. And then there were some people, they were even responding to her saying, you know, like that she's being ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. I always try to send love. I feel like I've noticed, like, even not only on my personal stuff, but people that I care about, I would always like usually that person's hurting, like hurt people, or you triggered them in some way, or like you always, in my opinion, like want to just show them love, because it's usually not that, you know, I don't know.
You can show them love if they, you know, but not everybody's going to take that love. You always want to come from a state.
It usually nips it in the butt. I've noticed.
Yeah, you always want to come from a state of love. But if someone's really bothering you, you have to just take that person out of your life, you know?
Yeah. And I just wanted to introduce, I see Ashley here, and I just want to tell you I love you.
Well, Ashley, nice to meet you too.
Victoria, hey girl.
Hello, Victoria.
And Ashley, you know, she says, you know, I think not having support from my friends and family scares me and holds me back from putting myself out there completely in the way I would like. And, you know, Ashley, I've grown up with you in this, you know, we both were in the Facebook Live challenge group, and every time I see your face, it lights me up. And I just think you're gorgeous inside and out. And, you know, I feel that, to me, like in the mission that I have, it's, if I could affect one person or I could help one person, then it's worth it. So that's my advice to you. And Carl, do you have anything to add for her?
Could you repeat the question again? What it was?
So basically, she's saying, like, it's like not having the support from her friends and family is holding her back from putting herself out there in the way, you know, in the way that she would like.
It goes back probably to security. It's because they want you to focus on a certain thing. Probably they don't understand what you're feeling. Nobody understands what you're feeling but you. And what you want to do is you can express yourself to them, tell them that, listen, you know, this is what I want to do, and speak your truth. Let them know that this is what you're going to do. They can support you, they cannot support you, but they're always going to be there for you if they love you. You know,
in a different way, maybe just not. For this, right? They're
not going anywhere. If they really care about you, they won't go anywhere. So the the only way you'll know, and the only way that you're going to feel good and ever get yourself out there, is by speaking your truth.
Beautiful. Thank you. And my sister, hey Liz, I hope your day's gotten better. She her car broke down earlier. Thank you so much.
Hello, Liz.
Oh, you hear those sirens? Oh.
Yes. Oh my God, what is that? That's all coming from the back.
Yeah. Hope everyone's okay.
Hope everyone's okay.
Yeah. So do you have anything else to add, like on your mission? Anything, you know, we have a lot to look forward to. I can't wait to wake up with the birds. And anything else you got brewing in there? Oh, can you tell me more about your book? Because so guys, I know you shared like maybe a tiny paragraph with me because Carl's in my man's group, and you know, we look for insights and we're trying to understand each other better, you know, in that space, you know, men and women and mindset. And I just want to thank you for suggesting that movie to me, because I've never seen a movie where it showed the guy's perspective. It always seemed about the girl, you know, like I loved that movie. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I love that movie. Which one are you talking about? Which one of the two?
Wait, what do you mean?
Yes, ma'am.
No, what was it again? 500 Days of Summer?
500 Days of Summer, yes.
Love. So good. I can't believe I've never seen that one.
I love the actress, and the guy is a great actor. And yeah, that's, you know, that's, I could relate so much to him in that movie. That's why I love it so much.
It's just beautiful how it's a great lesson in love, that maybe if your person it doesn't work out, like there's gonna possibly be somebody out there that's like even better for you. And I just love, I don't want to ruin the movie, but
yeah, no spoilers.
Did I ruin it? Just watch the movie. And I want to say hi to Lorelai. So can you tell me more about what your book's about? Because I only saw a piece of it.
Yeah, so as I was saying, 15 years ago, I made a choice that led to over a decade of bad decisions, of me hanging out with the wrong people, getting myself into a lot of trouble. And I was just in this really dark cloud. And then I made one choice that changed my life 5 years ago. I stepped out of that dark cloud and I began a transformational spiritual journey. So the book, the first half of the book, it talks about that first 10 years. And then the second half of the book talks about my spiritual transformational journey all the way up till I get my degree. And now I'm working on a third book, because I ended up writing another book during that time too, which was an idea, Jennifer. It was an idea that I had when I was in high school, about 17 years old. I had this idea that I never started. I wrote some chapters for it, and it was, you know, I had this amazing idea, but it just, I stored it on a USB. I sent it to a computer somewhere, and then I just lost everything. I lost everything, and I stopped writing completely because I was, you know, trapped between everything else. And during that time, though, after I wrote the first half of the book, something told me, write this book. So I took 6 months straight, and I wrote this other book just every single day. I did research. And to tell you a little bit about it, it covers historic history of the Japanese-Russian War back in the early 1900s that a lot of people actually don't know about. It was called the Japo-Russo War. And it's in between the facts that was happening between the war, I created a science fiction story as well. And I put it all together. And that took me about 6 to 8 months to finish. When I was done with that, I started writing the second half of this book that I'm releasing this summer. And that one that I'm telling you about, I'm planning on releasing next year. But I mean, end of this year, I mean, by December. Yeah.
What about that topic just like sparked that? I know you were like younger, you were learning about it. Like, what'd you love about it that made you want to like create this story surrounding it?
Just the idea. I loved. I love it has some like fictional characters and stuff that I was creating, and I wanted to just create the coolest thing ever. And then Of course, I'm glad I didn't write it back then, because me putting like history with it and being more spiritual, because it has a lot of spiritual meaning in it as well. And it has the meaning of how to follow your intuition. Um, I create it was just the right time for me to put it to write it. You always know when you follow your intuition, just start taking action. It's like that fringe awakening kind of.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. That's amazing. So I have a topic for you that I want to put on Jenny from the chopping block. And I know you're very strict with your meals, but is there maybe a healthy meal you could share that's delicious?
Uh, I would have to say, listen, my favorite meal of the day is my breakfast. I never change my breakfast. I have a whole cup of oats with almond milk. I'll put some honey bunches of oats on top of it, about a cup of that, some almonds. I'll put some cinnamon. That's all in one bowl. And on the side of that, I'll have about 7 egg whites, 3 whole eggs, um, and then I'll have some fruits along with that. That is, I would have to say, that's my favorite meal. I don't
kind of
every
fruit.
um, I like kiwis, bananas, peach in the morning. And then with my shakes, my protein shakes, I put like berries. I love putting frozen berries in protein shake. I make all my shakes with oatmeal as well. Oatmeal is excellent for you, by the way. It has a ton of nutrition benefits. It has amazing nutrition benefits. So
Like what?
I have a lot. I have about 3 cups of oats a day.
Damn, I have like a big oat thing that I haven't opened yet. Maybe I'll get in on there. What makes them so good for you?
Well, for one, they increase the testosterone system, and when you have it before sleep, it actually gives you a better sleep, gives you recovery for the next day.
Cool. Never knew that. Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing that. And now, I think you might like this one. If you could be, well, hold on. If you could have a superpower, what would that be?
Oh, I would have to say Batman, because I just love the way that the Batman castle and the Bat Cave. Just my favorite character of all time.
Can I ask you a question? Because, like, I remember someone I dated was like Spider-Man guy, and he's like, if Batman didn't have money, he wouldn't have like his powers. That's not true, is it?
Well, in a way, it is. It's kind of true, but if you go back to the origins, he was actually coming out of prison, and he learned the powers from
Oh
Ra's
my
al.
God. I just saw that like
You
this
did?
year,
Wow.
the movie. Like, I never knew that backstory.
Batman Begins. You just watched it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Blown away.
I hope you watched the whole trilogy, Jennifer. You have to watch the whole trilogy.
I do love Batman. I love the Joker. I love Batman. I love Gotham City. I love the whole thing.
Yeah. The whole thing is so cool, and I would say he probably would be, but not he wouldn't have the fancy equipment that he has if he it wasn't didn't have all that money. I love Spider-Man too. I do love Spider-Man. The Spider-Man movies, in fact, they always come out on my birthday. So I don't know if you use this, but they've always come out on my birthday,
When's your birthday?
July 5th.
Oh, cool. July baby. Me too.
Nice. You're Cancer?
I'm Leo, the
Leo.
28th.
Okay, awesome.
But I love cancers. They're so nurturing, and I have a best friend, a couple of friends that are cancers. So what superpower would you have though? Like, what would you want to do that we can't do as humans? Would you want to fly? Would you want to like read minds? Would you want to?
I'd probably want to lead everyone to success.
Cool. That's so nice. All right. And Carl, I just wanted to ask you, like, check in with you, see how like you've been throughout all this. You shared a lot of stuff and how you've changed your mindset and worked through it. But is there anything that maybe like you work through that you could help somebody else in the audience, like literally in this time frame that we've been going through with COVID?
Just like I was saying, you need to ask the right questions. When you ask the right questions, you start to perceive things differently. Like if you say, "Why did this happen to me?" Then you're gonna get answers. You're gonna be like, "Oh, well, you got this because you aren't worth it. You got this because you weren't good enough. You got this because you didn't show up." Whereas if you ask, what does this mean to me? Oh, you get a whole different perspective. Like what kind of opportunities can open up, who you really are, what can you do from here,
What can I
and
learn from this? Yeah.
what can you learn from this? And there's a lot to learn, and there's a lot of time, and there's a lot of opportunity just waiting for you, and you just have to. It all starts by taking action. It just starts with that first step, and everything follows along after that.
Beautiful.
But you have to listen. You have to be strong. I'm saying you have to be strong, and it starts by believing in yourself. And in order to serve others, you have to serve yourself. You have to serve yourself and believe in yourself and start taking action.
Beautiful. Is there anything else on your heart that you want to share?
Uh, there's a lot, but I mean, if you have a question, I'll be glad to answer. Why not?
Beautiful. So, so what's next? Like aside from the challenge coming up, is there another vision that you have? Like, where do you want to see this group go? Like, or where do you want to be in the near future with this mission of yours?
My biggest goal right now, my biggest goal that I'm so excited for is my book. I'm actually rereading the book for probably I can't even remember how many times. It's definitely over 20 times, and it's a big book, about 300 to 500 pages. I'm a big book guy. I love big books, and I ended up writing a big book. So, like the Laws of Human Nature is like 600 to 700 pages long, but it is like Robert Greene is just changed the way that I think about everything, and kind of reminded me why I started following my intuition and why people act the way they do. Which, by the way, also would be a good book for your friend if she wants to understand like how to follow her passion with everyone telling her that she shouldn't or something. Laws of Human Nature tells you why people act the way we do and why we think the way we think and stuff like that. And it just changes the whole perspective about how you show yourself and what you do on a daily basis. And so my book, I'm really excited about doing that. I'm actually rereading and rewriting it at the same time because I've only got it. I feel like there's so much more I want to put in the book. There's so much. Ever since I created this group, I've been coming up with new material all the time, and I see what the people like. I most of my book, it's a bunch of different things. It's a bunch of different things like the game of life, how to survive in the game of life, how to overcome your fear, about women and romance, about failures and successes, it's about following your intuition, about having mental challenges, physical challenges, financial challenges, and I went through all of that. And that's why I'm rereading the book, rewriting it, rereading the book and re-editing some things in the book before I publish it. It's I'm just excited to share that with everyone, and for the plans ahead of that, there's I definitely have probably a podcast I'm thinking of doing. I've been inspired recently by another friend. She's starting a podcast, and I had my first podcast interview like 2 weeks ago.
Cool.
So I'm thinking of starting one up soon. And that's, I take things slow in life. You have to take things slow, but as long as you have a plan and you're moving forward, that's all that matters.
Progress equals happiness.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
All right, Carl. Well, it's been a real pleasure and honor to get to know you better. And I know we'll be in touch, and I just can't wait for your challenge, and I appreciate your support. And yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer.
And thank you, everybody, for watching. I will see you guys real soon with another remarkable human being. And just remember to love and come from a place of love and just support each other. And just remember, we're not alone in this journey. That's it.
Stay safe and stay strong, everybody.